So you open up your investment portfolio and yikes, it's a sea of red. You're probably wondering, what on earth is going on? Well, we're about to connect those dots, showing how major events on the world stage can have a very real impact on your personal finances. And look, if that's exactly the question you've been asking yourself lately, you are not alone. These market downturns can feel completely random, but more often than not, there's a really powerful trigger at play. And here's the crazy part. The answer, the root cause of all this anxiety, is probably not a corporate earnings report or some decision from a central bank. Nope. Instead, it's unfolding thousands of miles away, all driven by military and diplomatic tensions.
Okay, so what we're really seeing here is something analysts call a global market bleed. And that name is pretty intense for a reason. It's not just one market falling apart, it's this deeply connected, synchronized downturn. Let's break down exactly what that means.
Right? So the key thing to get here is that it's not just stocks. It's like a cascade effect. You've got equities, currencies, and even those normally stable bonds, they're all dropping together. And the engine behind all this fear is just intense, impossible to measure uncertainty out there on the world stage. All right, so we've got the what down. Now let's get to the why. What's the specific flashpoint that's causing this much panic in the financial world? Let's dig in. The main trigger, the thing kicking all of this off, is the escalating conflict between the United States and Iran. You have to remember, financial markets absolutely hate unpredictability. And this situation, it's just injected a level of risk that traders can't even put a number on. And when that happens, what do? They sell. And this is a perfect example of why this specific conflict matters so much. Think of the Strait of Hormuz as the world economy's jugular vein for oil. Any threat, even a hint of disruption or closure to this one little geographic choke point, sends this massive wave of risk through the energy markets. And that affects the cost of, well, everything, from manufacturing goods to just your daily commute. Okay, so we have the catalyst. We know what started the fire. But how does a conflict in one region actually make your portfolio thousands of miles away drop in value? Well, it's a pretty clear, almost predictable domino effect. It really unfolds in three main stages. First, you see the big money. The institutional investors run for cover. That's called a flight to safety. That move directly triggers step 2, a massive equity sell-off. And then, finally, all that chaos creates shockwaves in the currency markets, and that can lead to a full-blown currency crisis. So this slide right here, it perfectly illustrates that flight to safety I was just talking about. Investors start dumping what we call risk-on assets, things like stocks in up-and-coming economies or high-yield bonds that carry more risk. And where do they put that money? They pile into safe haven assets. These are the places that are seen as secure spots to park cash during a storm. We're talking U.S. government bonds, gold, or even the Swiss franc, which, benefits from Switzerland's long history of just staying out of things and having super stable banks. And believe it or not, we can actually measure this fear. There's this thing called the VIX, which everyone on Wall Street calls the fear gauge. When panic sets in, the VIX just spikes. A really high VIX is basically telling you that traders are expecting some serious, wild swings in the market, and they're willing to pay a lot of money to protect themselves from it. The fallout from all this panic isn't just numbers on a screen. It translates into real, actual economic pain. But, and this is important, that pain isn't spread out equally across the globe. This table gives us a really fantastic snapshot of what's happening. So in North America, the dollar usually gets stronger because it's a safe haven. But ironically, that actually hurts big companies that sell stuff overseas. Then you have Europe, which is super dependent on energy imports, so they get hit hard. But man, it's the emerging markets that often face this absolutely brutal triple threat. First, their currency plunges. That makes imports way more expensive, which fuels inflation. And at the exact same time, foreign investors are pulling their money out because of the instability, which, you guessed it, makes the currency fall even further. It's just a nasty, vicious cycle. But, and this is some really crucial context, history shows us that these shocks tend to follow a pretty predictable pattern. I mean, we've seen this play out before with oil embargoes and other regional wars. You get the initial shock, the panic. Then there's an assessment phase where the market is kind of scrambling to figure out how bad the damage really is. And then finally, you get a recovery. And this is probably the most important takeaway of all. Markets historically do recover. Okay, so knowing all of this, what do you do? How should you respond?
Look, the absolute worst thing you can do is react emotionally. The best thing? Have a clear, disciplined strategy.
Warren Buffett's famous line is the perfect mindset for a moment like this. When the market is in a total state of panic, it often creates these rare opportunities for people who can just keep a level head. So here's a professional game plan. 5 key things. First, and this is the most important one, reassess your portfolio's risk, but please do not panic sell. Second, make sure you are truly diversified, and I don't just mean across different stocks, but across different types of assets. Third, use those safe havens we talked about, like gold and bonds, to shield some of your capital. Fourth, keep your eyes peeled for high-quality companies or assets that are basically on sale because of all the chaos. And finally, number 5, pay very close attention to what the central banks are saying. Their actions are often the signal that the market might be hitting a bottom.
Seriously, if you only take one single thing away from all of this, let it be this. The initial drop in your portfolio, that's temporary. It's a paper loss. Selling right into the middle of the panic, that is what turns a temporary paper loss into a permanent, real-world loss of your money. Just resisting that urge to sell is probably the single most important thing you can do.
So I'll just leave you with this question. Understanding how a market bleed actually works doesn't just help you avoid big mistakes. It helps you completely reframe the whole event. When the rest of the world is being driven by fear, the real question for a smart, disciplined investor becomes, where is the opportunity hiding?